smoking something much louder. If I do this every day, I said often. How many times you wrote the word, not so.
Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a chest stand. So let's just get into the video. Chest stands require flexibility, so the first thing we are going to do is stretch. So get into your bridge. I don't care if you do it from standing or laying down, but once you get into your bridge, rock back and forth 5 times looking at the wall behind you. Now rock back and forth 5 more times. This time try to look at your feet when you're doing it. It's okay if you can't see your feet. I barely could see them. And your bridge does not have to be good for you to do this. Just try your best. Because when I started, I was not good at contortion at all. Now go down and take a quick break, and then get back into your bridge. Going to hold your bridge with straight legs for 10 to 15 seconds. If you're a little bit more advanced or intermediate like me, then 20 seconds. But make sure to keep your legs straight. Now go down and rest. Now go back up into your bridge and walk your hands as close as you can to your feet. And it's okay if you're like all the way back here, or even worse, it's okay, just go as close as you can. And you don't want to be super bent like this. You want to try to keep your feet as straight as you can. They don't have to be like perfectly straight. As you can see, mine aren't straight at all. They're pretty bent, but they're not like crazy bent. But yeah, walk your hands as close to your feet as you can. Now go down and rest. Now go back into your bridge and go onto your elbows. And if you want a bit more advanced stretch, go on your releve like I'm doing here and try to lean back. You can go into an elbow stand if you want. That's how I get my best stretch, but I didn't for the sake of the video, but usually I would. And just try to push yourself as much as you can. Now get out of your bridge. Next, you're going to go to a platform like a couch or a wall, just something you can push against. And first, before we actually use the wall, we're going to go into a seal stretch. So if you feel a stretch from here, that is fine. If not, arch back, and your goal is to touch your head to your butt or touch your head to the floor. If you're very advanced, then try to touch your head to the floor.
Downtown we let it go, sunset high and our bodies low, blood rush in a hazy glow. My hands, your bones. Break the scene. One step deep as you fall to me. Hot clap, we skip a beat. Count 1, 2, 3. And don't you stop the music, get into it. Won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me?
Next, bend your legs and grab your feet like I'm doing here. And if you feel a stretch here, then that is fine. Just leave it there. But if you don't feel a stretch here and you're more advanced and you want a deeper stretch, then try to straighten your legs in this stretch. I personally can't straighten my legs all the way, and if you can't, that is perfectly fine, because I can't. But try to do it.
Find a place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment. Let your body be. Your name I'll never know as we get down in the road below. Caught up in an overflow. My hands, your bones. Wide-eyed, you look at me. Set on fire until the dream. Spin around, you can feel the breeze. Count 1.
You can can now get out of that position and take a quick rest.
Find the pace and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment.
Now the platform that you were against, like facing like I'm doing here, you're gonna push against it so that you can get an even deeper stretch in the seal stretch. And this is I'm like stumbling with my words here. It's very beneficial for your back flexibility. Yeah, because like when you do a seal stretch, that's a great stretch, but sometimes I don't really get a full benefit out of my seal stretch. So pushing against a platform like my couch really just gives me a good benefit. And we're gonna hold it for quite a bit, so just enjoy the music and hold it. You can obviously rest for like a couple seconds, but try to hold it for the whole time.
Give yourself a moment, let your body be. Down, down, we let go. 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 Loose up, we break the scene. One step deep as you follow me. Hot clap, we skip the beat. Count 1, 2, 3. Don't you stop the music, take into it. Won't you dance with me? Find the place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment. Let your body be. We gotta lose it. We gotta lose it. We gotta lose it.
Now get out of that, and your back is gonna feel very stretched out, so go into a child's pose to lengthen out your spine. And as you can see here, my back was very stretched out, so like it did not want to go into a child's pose because I was doing that very slowly. And your back might feel like that, but trust me, it's gonna feel amazing. If you weren't already at a wall, go find a wall and do a handstand against it. And you're gonna lean against the wall, like have your legs against the wall. You can bend your legs if you want a deeper back stretch. But just like as long as you're in the general of like what I'm doing, like that. And we're gonna hold it for a little bit. So just, yeah.
Just to be sure.
Now you can get out of it. Now we're gonna face away from the wall and we're going to walk our hands down the wall and back up the wall 3 times, like I'm doing here. And if you're not that flexible, it's okay, just try to do it. Like go as far down as you can and you can. And your goal is to go all the way to the floor. If you're intermediate, then this should not be a problem for you. And you don't have to keep your legs straight like I'm doing. I just happen to keep them straight. But yeah.
In the center of your soul, there's an open bullet hole. You must.
When you're on your 3rd round of walking your hands down the wall, keep them wherever they are and lean. Just really lean against the wall. And this is going to be great for stretching out your back. Now get out of that position and go forward like a pike stretch, and you don't have to have your legs together like you would in a pike. I have them spread out as you can see. And just bend forward as much as you can. And I know it doesn't have to do with back flexibility, but when you stretch out your back, it's good to do forward stretches in the middle of the stretches to help for like the next day. Soreness. Next, you're going to go on your knees and you're going to arch back and grab your ankles. If you're a beginner, stay here. If you aren't a beginner, then do like a bridge from your knees, like I'm doing here. And if you're advanced, try to do a triple fold. That's what I'm gonna end up doing. And my goal currently is to touch my knees like when I'm doing the stretch, to get my hands to my knees. And I almost did it when I was filming this. But yeah, wherever you are, whether it's just arching back or like doing the bridge and trying to do a triple fold, just do it. You can get out of whatever bridge you were doing on your knees and go into child's pose again. Next, go to a sofa or some kind of platform or a wall. It's just going to be harder on a wall. And do what I'm doing, where like you lay your lower body on it and then you kick over. This is very beneficial, especially if you're trying to get your chest stand with your arms in front of you, because the platform is like kind of just like letting you go, like have your legs over your head, and you don't have to worry about your back strength, because my problem with like having my arms in front of me is my back strength. So this helps me also get my flexibility so that I can do it. So yeah, it's just very beneficial. And if you don't have your chest stand, it's still very beneficial, because something's kind of like forcing your legs to like be over your head. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very beneficial. So yeah, just like do it for a bit and hold it or whatever. Next, slide down the platform so that just your feet are on the platform, and then do a seal stretch again. I know we've been doing seal stretches a lot, but they're just a really beneficial stretch. They're a very good stretch, and from here, I really got a benefit out of the stretch. I cannot stop saying benefit. And now for the last time, I think, go into a glorious child's pose. Now that we have stretched, we are going to strengthen our backs. First, lay on your stomach and lift your arms and your chest, but keep the bottom half of your body, especially your feet, on the ground. If you can't keep your feet on the ground, put your feet under a couch or have someone hold your feet, and do this 10 times.
Never gonna stand a chance, heartbreak like a sad romance. Said that you never come back again. Been 3 days, now you're back again. But I'm not your man, no I'm not your man. I can blow your mind like whoa. Why be faithful when you got hoes? Drop top and off we go.
Now bring your arms to the side and lift your legs 10 times. This is great for strengthening your lower back. Now bring your arms to the front again, and we are going to do a combination of both the arms and leg lift like I'm doing here, and do 5 of them.
Angel boy, late nights, calls on the phone I want. Late nights, keep it down on the low. Be fast, but I'm taking it slow. Yeah,
Now this one is for the more advanced people because it requires strength and flexibility. But basically you're gonna lift up into a seal stretch and then kick into a chest stand. It doesn't even have to go all the way into a chest stand. But this is like conditioning and stretching at the same time. I like to do this when I'm warming up, like just a very quick warm up. But yeah, so this is for more advanced people though.
Angel boy, boy, angel boy. You say that I'm your favorite toy.
I will be showing 4 ways to get into a chest stand. The first one is kind of going into a seal stretch and then just kick into one. This is the most common way to get into a chest stand. It's also the easiest way. Next one, you go from a bridge. You're going to go into a bridge, and then if you need to, like I do, go on releve. And then once you're on releve or whatever, then you're going to bend your arms and follow through into a chest stand or chin stand or whatever. This one is slightly harder, but I do it often. The next one is you go from your like where you grab the back of your feet like I'm doing here, and then you just swing into a chest stand while holding your feet. This is great for if you're trying to get a higher chest stand because you're already holding your feet. And the last way to get into a chest stand, it's the hardest way, because it not only requires flexibility but back flexibility. You do around the world. Like you saw in my intro and like you're seeing now, this is definitely the hardest way to get into a chest stand. The last tip I have for you guys is if you have trouble kicking to a chest stand, then lean against the wall like I'm doing here and put your feet on the wall and then kick from the wall. And then eventually go into a lower platform like a couch and then kick from the couch. And then eventually you can do it from the ground. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you get your chest stand or chin stand or whatever it is. And remember, flexibility takes a while to get, so just do it consistently. Do it every day or every other day. And if you're sore, buy a foam roller.